Good morning, River of Life. Hey, my name is Pete, and I wanted to share with you today a little bit about worship. And so on Monday evening, my wife and I were blessed to attend the Chris Tomlin concert. And for those of you that don't know me, I've been involved in worship for 21, 22 years. I've been a music fanatic. Music feeds me. You could ask me a Bible verse, and I might not know exactly where to find it in the Bible. But if you ask me something about something involved in worship, that's my jam. that's what feeds me, and God feeds me through music. And so, just an amazing experience on Monday night, and I wanted to share a couple things in reflection of worship. You know, when you look up in the Bible in regards to worship, there's hundreds of verses that pertain to worship. But during the concert, they shared some things in regards to when do you worship? Do you only worship when you're happy about an outcome of something? And I posted the comment on this today to say worship in the valley. And one of the things that really struck me in hearing that message and why I wanted to share it with you today is when you're down, when you're at a low, do you worship? Do you worship? Do you give glory to God through your worship? And I'm challenging you with that question because even as involved as I am in worship and how it feeds me, I sometimes forget to worship when I'm in the valley. And worship is all about giving praise to God for things that happen in our life, things that He does for us and does daily. And how many times do we just simply take that for granted that we may not even realize some of the amazing blessings that come our way just because we're living our life, we're doing our thing. But at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we're worshiping God for what He's done for us, right? And it was an interesting realization for me on Monday because I looked around. I wish I had a picture that I could share. I do, but I don't know how to share it on here. And to show you, for those that may have been there, you saw it, but I don't even know how many people. But the lights are down, the lights shine from stage around the audience. And I tell you that there was not a single hand down. Every hand was raised, praising God. And it's one of those things where people say, well, how was the concert? It wasn't a concert. It was a worship experience. It was thousands of people worshiping God together at the same time. And one of the reasons that I'm such a fan of the people that were performing on stage, were leading the worship, was it was so authentic. It was not about the performance. It was not about putting on a good show, even though it was. It was about praising God and leading from the front of the room. And it was one of the most amazing things that I've experienced in a long time. And I've been to several events where there's been large groups of people worshiping together. But to see this in downtown Minneapolis, to be able to watch as this played out, I get goosebumps thinking about it. So that's what drove me to share a little bit with you today about worship. And, you know, when you look at our worship team on stage, which I've participated in, and it's been such a blessing. They're truly leading from their heart. And if you watch our volunteers that worship on stage on Sundays, it's them praising God, and they just happen to be in the front of the room, right? And Eddie and his team do an amazing job in doing that. And on the back of my t-shirt, you can't see it, but on the front it says People Praises Presence, right? And on the back it says the people of God singing the praises of God in the presence of God. And I truly believe that on Sundays, that River of Life, right, it's just an amazing experience to be in the presence of God and praising God together as the people of God, right? And so I just wanted to share that with you today. And I know it's not super insightful, but I wanted to truly remind you that as you're worshiping God, we need to make sure that we're worshiping at all times. And we need to do it authentically. And one of the challenges is, and I'll share a quick story. 20-some years ago, when I was first asked to participate in the worship team at River of Life, I hadn't played percussion or drums in, gosh, I don't know, probably 10 years prior to that. And so for me, I thought, there's no way that I can do that. And my challenge to you is, if you are a member of River of Life, and you at some point in your life has played an instrument, sang, had an interest in how they turn the knobs on the soundboard, my call out to you is, if you have that in your history and you're just kind of curious what it would look like to participate in the worship team, I'm asking you to post a comment below and let us know, and or send the River of Life Facebook page a message and just say, hey, I used to play, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was a fiddle. It doesn't matter if it was a flute. It doesn't matter if it was a cello. It doesn't matter if you banged on the drums. Whatever you may have done in the past, if you're curious what that would look like to be in front of the room, worshiping God, and leading the congregation in that, reach out to us and let us know. The worship team is always looking for amazing people to join. And again, when I got started, I didn't think I could do it again because I hadn't played in 10 years. But I tell you what, there's nothing better than using the gifts that God has given me to help worship in the front of the room. And just keep that in reality when you're worshiping God yourself. And if you have that in your background, reach out to us and let us know. But that's all I've got for you guys. And again, I'm sorry it wasn't super insightful, but I really felt God telling me I needed to share about worship. I needed to share about how we worship and when we worship. So I hope this was good for you, as it was for me, and I hope you have an amazing day. Thanks, guys.